Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of In the Moment. This is your host, Michael, and I'm so excited to have my guest, Cardum Sage. She is an artist, she is an entrepreneur, she is a fashion designer. She is incredible. She is a work of art. We want to hear all about her success. She has a company, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, but it is Diaspora Altair plus Afro Future. Did I say that correctly?
Very close. So it's Diaspora Atelier plus Afrofuture or DAF. That's DA plus AF.
Okay. Uh, I want to hear all about this. You are, I love fashion. Fashion's awesome. And I can already tell there's something in the background, like a nice blouse. It looks beautiful. I love the colors.
Thank you.
And it complements the wood, complements you. So why don't you tell us, A, who you are, this beautiful name that you have, because I want to understand the meaning of it, and how you are right now, because I've been offline for about a year, and I just got on and I saw that you're blowing up and you're about to be presenting, I think, in Dubai at a fashion show and in New York
Yeah.
Fashion Week. What's going on, girl? Talk to me. What's happening?
Well, so yes, about my name. My legal name, my government name is Cardum Penn, married to Marcus Adeshima Penn. But Cardum Sage is
Uh huh.
actually my artist name, and I adopted that when I was painting,
Okay.
and because I'm also a visual artist, and so that's I was like, hmm. I'm really in the flow of my art right now, so let me bring that back in.
Hmm.
So that's kind of the rebirth of Cardinal Sage. And yeah, so it really is embodying all of the energetic space that I'm in right now. And yeah, I'm excited. I am going to Dubai to show in the Dubai Mall
Nice.
in January
Wow.
31st, no,
Hmm.
30th to the February 1st.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then off to New York Fashion Week, February.
That's incredible. Okay, so let's just clarify. So you are in the Bay Area. You are a Bay Area designer. That's where you are right now.
Yes,
Okay.
that's where I am. I'm in Oakland based,
Oakland.
and Oakland, the town.
How did you get started? Because I remember, years ago seeing some of your artwork and your paintings, which have always been lovely and beautiful. And then, I saw again, like online, like you kind of down, like here's a T-shirt here or there, and now all of a sudden, and I've gone on your website, and we're going to put the link in there. But you have a full line, and this is amazing, beautiful um, clothing. And please, to the viewers that are listening, please go to the video portion of this, and then also go to the website that Cardum has, because I was looking at them and they're colorful, they're beautiful. I don't think I can be rocking any bolos or skirts right now, but I will say for you ladies, this is definitely for you. So, what inspired you to do all this?
Yeah, so I'll just say it was a journey. It actually started around COVID,
Okay,
and where a lot of people became very creative, right?
right.
So I was one of those people, and we had been doing trips to Ghana, my husband and I,
Oh wow. Okay.
and so we had brought some people during the year of return. That was 2019, and that was a campaign, or to bring all of the people of the African diaspora back to the continent, Ghana in
Wow. Okay.
particular. So fast forward, COVID hit, and
Yeah.
some of the artisans or people who worked in the market, one gentleman in particular, his name is Muhammad, and we had been corresponding, and he said to me, the markets are shut down. I need to feed my family, basically. Like, do you guys need any clothing? Can I send you some
Wow.
clothes? And I said, well, people really aren't going out of their houses right now, so clothing might not be the thing. But what do you think about making some masks?
Mm-hmm.
So he and I started to engineer these masks, and the craftsmanship and the artisan element is
Uh huh.
such quality, thank
Yes.
God. And so it really became the construction of a
Mm-hmm.
mask and how to make it COVID safe and all of that. So that
Wow.
began my design journey.
Wow.
And then he
Mm-hmm.
eventually sent clothing here, and a whole lot of it. And I said, well, I don't have anywhere to put all this. And
Yeah.
he said, it's for your store. And I said, well, I don't have a store. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I can just invite people over,
Hmm.
and I'm going to call it the Diaspora Atelier, which means studio in French,
Oh my
usually a
gosh. Okay.
fine design studio. So people started coming, they loved the clothes, and they would say, this, I didn't even think I could fit this. This makes
Hmm.
me feel so good. And I really got kind of high off of people loving themselves in these
Yeah.
clothes, loving their bodies.
Hmm.
So I thought, let me just be in this for a while.
Right.
It's new. I had no expectations. And eventually I just started getting what I call downloads I started sketching and
Yeah.
sketching just designs kind of out of the blue. And
Mhm.
that was the birth of Diaspora Atelier plus Afrofuture. So
Yeah.
I added the Afrofuture later when I actually stepped into that design space.
It's gorgeous, and I'm looking at the patterns and some of the stuff I saw, like this really nice leather with the buttons, and then you kind of have this. Again, I don't know how to describe women's stuff, but like the sleeves, kind of you can scrunch it up with this tie string, and so like you can
Yeah,
almost do like four different outfits out of one. You
that
know.
is that's the spirit. That is it. Again, my desire was to be
Hmm.
able to have as many people fit into one
Yeah.
garment.
Yeah.
And it's gender fluid, really. I thought I started creating the boleros. That
Okay.
was one of my beginning pieces,
Right.
short jacket, kind of
Mhm.
like the matadors wear in Spain,
Right.
right? And
It's gonna have
I
some.
had men or male identified individuals um, wanting to rock the boleros.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. And then I just started kind of designing
Hmm.
for fluidity. And it brings me a lot of joy when people, different ages, genders, ethnicities,
Hmm.
are attracted to the clothes. And
Right.
that was my goal.
Well,
Right.
that's what I noticed on the website too. Because you have the line and you see an assortment of different individual body types, which I think is beautiful. And especially, I think it's the goddess flow. I know that's one of the designs that you have or
Yeah.
attributes. And it was great to just see, primarily as women of all sizes and shapes. And I just think that's important because in today's society, not everyone is the same. We all change over the years, whatever. And I think a lot of people just feel not included. And even in that sense, like you go to a store and you're disheartened, like, oh, I really want that, but it doesn't fit or that doesn't happen.
Right.
So it's really cool that you're doing that. So my question is,
Mhm.
are you doing all these by hand? Do you have a team that's helping you design these clothing? And are you saying, all right, here's a body shape. I need to do like 10 in this version, or is it more made to order? Someone comes in like, I want to order this for my nana or my niece or something.
I love that question. So, part of the joy in creating Diaspora Atelier, the diaspora part is really about acknowledging my connection to African continent.
Okay.
And in
Yes.
particular,
Right.
I have an affinity for Ghana because that's where I
Mhm.
started.
Wow.
And that was my first trip to the
Mm-hmm.
continent. So I found a tailor. So I had these ideas, right? I had
Wow.
these sketches. And
Uh-huh.
actually I had asked a friend of mine who was a designer, hey, I'm looking for a designer. Can I would you like to partner with me?
Right.
And so he's looking at the sketches. He's like, you are a designer. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I didn't go to design school. Like,
Yeah.
I that is never a title that I had claimed. And so he said, what you need is a tailor. And so to bring these to life.
Mm-hmm.
So many iterations of
Right.
tailoring partnerships. Um, and that is actually where my brand symbol came from. It's called Nkyinkyim, and it kind of goes like this. And it
Mm.
represents the twisting, winding road towards resilience and versatility
Wow.
and innovation. And I learned about that
Uh,
term while I was in Ghana.
oh
It
my
was
goodness.
created by the Akan people,
Mm-hmm.
and this is considered what they call an Adinkra symbol, which is a tradition that's legacies
Okay.
old. And so in
Mm-hmm.
Chinchin, and that
Wow.
describes my journey. Really, it's been a twisting, winding road. And right now, I do have a partner in
Mm-hmm.
Ghana, and we're working to build our production
Okay.
capacity so we can meet the
Right.
oncoming demand.
So you send the items to them and then they, I guess, cut and measure and then send it back to you?
Yeah, so getting back to your
Right.
question, so I'll I decided to create sizes that
Okay.
were what I call decolonizing sizing, right?
Right.
Because the small, the medium, the large, the extra large, the 2X and
Yeah. Yeah.
on up. And I thought when I was creating my first line that came out was Goddess Flow. And so I thought, seeing all the women in different sizes, I
Right.
said, what if we called it something else? So
Hmm.
my sizing for Goddess Flow, and some of the other lines I'm bringing it in,
Hmm.
is Femme, Diva, Queen, and Goddess. And so
I love it.
so these sizes will range. So because of the way that I construct it, it allows for expansion.
Right.
And so, but the expansion is built into the design. So it's very intentional as an
Hmm.
accent, but also it's utilitarian, right? It's
Yeah.
functional. So, for instance, someone who's maybe a petite and a medium
Hmm.
could fit
Right.
into one garment. So the sizing expands.
Okay.
And so what I do is I send my sketches. We talk over
Hmm.
the phone. We send pictures back and
Wow.
forth.
I love it.
I go there in person so we can work one on one.
Oh my gosh.
And I also have a tailor here, a local tailor,
Okay.
where we prototype certain things. I'll bring it to him, and
Nice.
then once we have a prototype, I
Hmm.
can send it to Ghana or I go there and it goes from there.
That is amazing. I mean, first off, I'm so proud of you. I mean, I've known you for, quite some time. And this is amazing because I do love the idea that people taking risk and venturing out during COVID and saying, you know what? I got to do something different. And that's what started this podcast, is doing something different. And to
Yes.
see you blossom like this. And again, I was so surprised when I got online the other day and I saw that you had this incredible fashion line and the colors are beautiful. And I was like,
Thank
wow, this
you.
is so impressive. And um, I think it's fantastic. And it's also from the Bay Area. The Bay Area's got so many artists, so much flow and a good vibe, and I can totally get that sense from the clothing and the people. And then you've got purses, and I saw some boots, some sort of denim boots or something.
Yeah,
Doing it all.
yeah, sometimes I just source things that I feel will be a good
Okay.
complement
Yeah.
to my
Hmm.
designs and to the whole
Yeah.
style, what I call daft mode. And
Uh-huh.
so actually, those aren't. I need to probably say that they're sold out because they are. But
Yeah.
those were like some vintage denim
Okay.
that I acquired
Nice.
from someone in England. So yeah, and actually, I did a London fashion show. It's
What?
called a soiree presentation where
Okay.
we got to have models model the clothing, but
Uh-huh.
with a small group of like journalists and media
Oh
folks.
my
And so
gosh.
I had special ordered these
Hmm.
shoes that were made in Cameroon, and
Wow.
it's called OMS,
Okay.
OMES, I think. And so I really like supporting the
Hmm.
craftsmanship of Africans in African countries.
Yeah.
So we have Ghana, we have Cameroon, and one of my former tailors was from Senegal.
Right.
So yeah, it's just a plethora of talent, and I like to
Nice.
be
And
part
then
of that.
I think this is awesome. Do you have any do you ever do like, pop-up shops like, hey, here, the holidays are coming up. Hey, we're gonna do a special event in Jack London Square or Oakland. I mean, do you
Yeah.
do anything like that?
Well, thank you also for asking because I
See?
wanted to say that was part of my origin story in terms of coming out into the community. So I
Ah,
started with what's called the Black Joy Parade.
okay.
And so that was the first time where I released my line,
Nice.
and it just got so much love. I mean, the boleros were flying off
Right.
the racks. And so I said, yeah, this
Nice.
confirmation. So then
Uh-huh.
after that, I did Oakland First Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of love there. People were excited, they were buying. And
Right.
so I met someone
Mm-hmm.
named Morgan,
Okay.
and they let me know that that they were having a an event by their um, organization
Right.
or affiliation called Just Vibe that
Okay.
they created. And so there I met a lot of female entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
artists, creatives. A lot of them were in the film industry,
Okay.
um, and some were, pretty much
Right.
just there was a gamut of talented.
Okay.
And so it was a very affirming environment. A
Nice.
lot of them were, it was lots of ages, but mainly people,
Right.
28, 30s. And it was just so exciting. And so I ended up meeting
Hmm.
a woman named Amina who had an organization,
Wow.
has an organization that's pretty much international.
Uh-huh.
It's Toronto and throughout the United States
Wow.
called Trap Art. And so she said to me, I really like what you're wearing. Is that your design? I said,
Mhm.
yes. She said, we're having a fashion show. Would you be interested? And I thought, wow, okay, this is actually my first fashion show invite.
Nice. I love
And I
it.
said yes. And that began the journey. So,
Hmm.
love all the trap art models. Actually, I'm going to be taking some of them to New York Fashion Week. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's really awesome. It's been an amazing, wonderful experience.
So how does that happen? How do you get invited to New York Fashion Week? Because I don't know the first thing about it. Um, so
Yeah,
explain to me. How do you get in and what is it? 'Cause I know it's big.
so let me just share a little bit. I know that you can
Absolutely.
relate to this. I took this course called by Justin Michael Williams,
Okay.
and it was kind of like a course of self-empowerment,
Hmm.
self-affirmation, and healing, and lots of things, lots of
Right.
layers to it. And so he asked, we had a workbook, and it said, what's your biggest dream? And
Nice.
at the time, this was January, I hadn't popped up, I hadn't done a show, anything. And I said, I would love, and I was writing this going, this will
Hmm.
never happen.
Yeah.
I would love to be at New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, watching
Oh,
my designs go down the runway.
man.
So fast forward, I think
Yeah.
it was the spring where I saw this ad for New York Fashion Week.
Hmm.
And, I'm a small operation. I haven't really put a major footprint out. So at that time, and so
Right.
I said, well, let me just go ahead. I'm going to apply. And I think it was the very next day I got a call
Oh,
and I was
wow.
interviewed maybe for about an hour. And they said, you are exactly what we're looking for. And your
Wow.
story is amazing. We haven't seen any clothes like this
Hmm.
before. And we'd like to have you. And so I'm thinking, okay, is this real?
Oh my, that's
Is this really
fantastic.
how this works? Just
Yeah.
like that?
You got to manifest it.
Manifesting.
I love
Man.
that. That is a great story because I tell people, and I'm always surprised too when I'm able to manifest things. When you really put forth the effort and the time, you have to believe in it, and you set
Yes.
those goals. Like I've written a couple goals that again I'm working towards, and it's those magic moments. You're like, all right, this works. This
Right.
stuff works, and also,
Yeah.
but you have something to back it up. And to the viewers out here, I'm not lying. Please check out the website. Please support because it's beautiful. Um, Clothing, the colors, the patterns, all that. And here's another question because I don't really know too much about fashion, but I saw the colors. Do you have a whole thing like, oh, well, spring is more, I'm making this up, yellows and purples, and then, fall's more brown and black and orange? I don't know. Is that something that goes into your fashion line?
So actually, kind of by default. So,
Mhm.
just a little bit about the fabrics that you're mentioning,
Okay.
even here in the background. It's called Ankara fabric, and
Okay.
it's from Ghana. It may
Hmm.
be in some other countries, but mainly a
Right.
lot of Ghanaian tailors,
Hmm.
seamstresses use this fabric. And people walking down the street are decked out,
Yeah.
just going to the market,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a very vibrant,
Uh,
colorful, just fashion culture in a
right.
sense.
Okay.
So I started with Ankara fabrics, and that's where you see the goddess flow. And so
Right.
they tend to be bright and
Hmm.
springy, and there are some deeper colors. But
Okay. Nice.
I found that because it was light, that was mainly what I was releasing in the spring and summer.
Right.
And as I started to go more into
Mm,
exploring the fabrics, I came across, I had been familiar with it, but I had never thought of sewing with it.
right.
So mud cloth or bogolan fabric, bogolan fini, which means fabric of the earth,
Wow.
that is from Mali. And they've been making this for over 600 years. And it's actually, I have it on. Just going to show you a
That's a,
little bit. So
oh
you'll see
wow.
also
Okay.
I work a lot in grommets and leather strings.
Beautiful. Love it.
But and this is my
Yep,
Ankh
the Ankh, which
fabric.
looks like the Prince symbol, which we're going to talk about in a second because I see those
Yes,
earrings.
yes, exactly. So I say, you're walking in your power when you
Yeah.
wear these garments. Like mud
Yes.
cloth is a living, breathing garment. The way that it's made
Hmm.
is, and I watch this process.
Yeah.
Some of the process is they take tree bark or plants or berries, and
Nice.
they will pound
Hmm.
that down, release the juices.
Right. Right.
Sometimes they boil it down, let it ferment, all of that. And that's actually how indigo is made. And so they'll put it's hand woven cotton.
Hmm.
It's very loosely woven, so it breathes well in the summer. The weight of it allows you to feel warm in the winter.
Okay.
And they put the dye, natural plant dyes, on the fabric, lay it in the sun, let it bake in, and they stamp it with different patterns.
Right. Right.
And so I'm actually having some private label mud cloth or bogolan fabric made with
Nice.
my brand symbol. So
Woo!
it is one of a kind.
I love
Never.
that. Okay. So there's definitely gonna be a men's shirt available or
Oh
something.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, I'm actually
Okay.
just getting into. So
All
the
right.
shirt that you see in the back, I am making a men's version of that. Um,
I like it.
yeah,
So to the viewers, the outfit she has in the back, this looks like something Prince would wear. It is absolutely. It's got some purple and some blue. It looks tight. It looks like exactly something Prince would wear. So it means
okay.
I gotta wear it.
Wait till you see the pants, okay? But that was actually one of the garments that walked in the London show, and
Nice.
the young woman just she lit it up. So
Ah,
yeah, it's all about the fabrics, the history, the legacy of
nice.
the
I
fabrics,
love it.
and the fabrics being it's like
Mhm.
the cultures are exchanging
Nice.
um, uh, couture
Mhm.
dialogue,
Right.
right? So yeah, and it's my goal is just to make very unique
Mhm.
pieces and pieces where people feel beautiful,
Yeah.
people feel like they fit.
Hmm.
A lot of times there's this body dysmorphia where in
Yeah.
particular with women where we're like, oh, I'm fat or I'm this or that
Yeah.
and not fitting maybe
For
an
sure.
established.
Yeah.
Right, like an established standard. And so, in this country or in the
Hmm.
Western world. And so, the high is always when women come and they're like, "Oh, I have to lose weight before I can wear this." And I'm
Right.
like, "No, honey, we're gonna have you walking out looking
Like a
good
queen,
and
like a
feeling
goddess
good
flow.
in the goddess flow." That's what's up.
Have that I love it. Have you, or is it the next step? And again, which always helps, is getting to the NBA, WNBA, to the movie world. Any thoughts about that?
I love it. I'm just stepping out
Hmm.
into this whole, let's say, with the sports arena,
Okay.
and I'm open right now. I'm
Nice.
really
Okay.
working at establishing our production team
Okay.
in Ghana. So when I go in January, that's what I'm going to be working on.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I really am interested in expanding.
Hmm.
And so, yes, WNBA, the
Okay.
NBA.
Yeah.
However, everyone needs clothes or
Yeah.
wants to look good, right? Particularly in special events, the
For
runway,
sure.
or just, I have what's called a line called Sacred Threads, which is, I describe it as Afro Luxe streetwear
Ooh,
or
there we go.
elevated streetwear.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
so
how it
I have
starts.
men's cargos that are amazing
Yeah.
that can kind of go. I mean, I have women wearing them, men wearing them. So,
We're
yeah.
gonna get it out there. We're gonna get it out there. I'll connect you. I'm already gonna send your names to a couple of costume designers that I know in the movie world who hire, and I'll let you connect with all of them. So here's
Awesome.
another question, because you have that going on, which is fantastic. But what else occupies your time? What is something that fills the void? Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. What's the next thing that you kind of just like find relaxing for yourself, or something that helps you stay motivated?
Great question again. So I had a journey with, I was the CEO of a mental health agency.
Wow.
It was peer run and really geared towards supporting community through mental health
Mm-hmm.
and recovery.
Right.
And so I burnt out in the job. I loved it,
Right.
loved the people, loved the programs, loved what we stood for.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that I gave more than I had.
Right.
Just over a year, I was there for about 6 years, and so after that, I started getting migraines and
Mm-hmm.
insomnia, and I was fortunately able to step away
Right.
and focus on my health. And so what
Yeah.
came out of that is something called that I call sacred naps. And so that is intentional rest.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I provide a safe space for people to
Mm-hmm.
just feel comfortable letting down, just going,
Mm-hmm.
rooting down, and literally they're lying down.
Right.
We do some breath exercises, some
Mm-hmm.
body meditation, yoga nidra, if you're
Yeah.
familiar, and then some intentional rest. And I find that that really helps to
Mm-hmm.
reset the nervous system, um,
Yeah.
and energizes. So it's more than a power nap. People, talk about that, and there's
Yeah. That's what
definite
I do.
value. Yeah, definite value in
Mm-hmm.
that. I call them empower naps. What
Mm.
I provide because
Yeah.
it takes you a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And people often say, I have so much to do today. I feel like I can't lie down. And
Right.
afterwards, they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much more energy.
Yes.
So that's something that I use myself. I actually used it this morning because I woke up at 3 and I'm like, what am I
Oh
doing at
yeah.
3? And so I did my sacred nap, and that
Nice.
allowed me to, settle down. So that is
Hmm.
something that I provide, but I
Okay.
also provide it because I need it.
Yes.
And yeah, so I feel like everything that I do, I I embody it.
Hmm.
I mean, literally,
Right.
because it just became a part of me, a
For sure.
evolutionary
Yeah.
part of, just
Yeah.
who am I and what
Mhm.
do I represent? And
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I think it is so helpful and beneficial because, I'm working from home a lot. And while I'm not on set or anything, I have to fill the void. And I don't watch TV during the day. I just don't. I'm always finding something to do. I'm reading, and being offline for the past year, I've gotten more done. I read more books, audiobooks. I walk the dog all day long and I'm listening to empowerment. But I do allow myself that little afternoon, and I call it my power nap. And I do. And it's funny because no one will call me. The minute I take this 10-minute nap, everybody wants to call me at that moment. I'm like, how'd y'all know I'm just trying to take 10 minutes? 10 minutes, please. But again, then I had this new energy, and what happens is, we're watching TV, and then it's about 10 o'clock at night, and my girlfriend likes to go to bed. I'm like, oh, it's time to start a movie. She's like, well, we've been watching TV. I'm like, well, that's TV. Now it's time to watch a movie because I have high energy. But I
Yeah.
do love it, and it gives you that little boost of, hey, but it is important to kind of just stop the body, rest,
Mhm.
turn everything off.
Yeah.
Um, and I just do think that's healthy, and I'm glad to know that you do that. And there's actual term because again, your mom was very prolific, if I'm correct, in doing yoga in the Bay Area. Am I right with that?
Yes.
She was huge.
Pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pioneer, Bobby. Now, I have not done probably more than 3 yogas in my life. I do workouts and stuff, but I haven't gotten to. But I think
Mhm.
it's fantastic to just be in tune with the body. So I think you've adapted some of that from your mom, which has helped. Am I right?
Sure. Yeah, carrying on that wellness
Hmm.
legacy, and she was doing things back then. She and my dad, my stepdad, but
Right.
my dad,
Yeah.
were doing retreats
Hmm.
in the 70s,
Yeah.
and they were bringing in meditation and yoga, and particularly within the African American
Right.
community.
It's huge.
And because there was a lot of stress, and as there is,
Oh yeah.
often given context. And so I grew up in that. I would go to their retreats with them, and so yeah, I mean, it's in
Hmm.
my blood.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So
And do you find that your son and husband are helpful? I mean, do they help in any capacity with the fashion ideas? And like, hey, here's something cool. I mean, I don't know.
well, I try to get their feedback
Yeah.
because I'm creating kind of, I'll just say in a vacuum.
Right.
I get these, like I said, these downloads, and I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh, will this really work? Let me
Nice.
see, let me materialize this.
Hmm.
And so I'll say, hey, what do you guys think about this? Would you wear this?
Yeah.
And it's been just a lot of yeses. And
Cool.
so,
Nice.
and then sometimes I'm just like, I don't care. I know this is dope. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna make it, and people are gonna see, and then they're like, "Wow, I didn't even know."
well, I definitely
So,
want something for sure. I
oh
listen.
yeah,
I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna support. I want to support all my guests and everybody because I feel like this is how we all get started. We're
right,
all starting from these grassroots, and look how it becomes.
right,
Um, you just don't know how it's gonna take off. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
yes.
Um,
I'll get you some cargo pants. You,
oh, there you go. Okay, well, definitely talk. No, see, I got to ask you a question. So
yeah.
Cardum is rocking these awesome Prince earrings. What's up with that? Because I'm the biggest Prince fan in the world, and I haven't stopped at 55.
Well, we grew up with that with him.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I mean,
I love them.
it's just even the love affair was there in the teen years and even before that.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes, he's the legacy, and so
Yeah.
my son actually got these for me 2 Christmases ago.
Nice.
So I love embodying that spirit, and yeah, the gender fluidity. So here we
I
go.
listen. I'm all about, and I embrace it because it's the whole for me. It's the Gemini. I'm half black, half white. I do identify with the male female idea of just the energy and all
Yeah.
that. And so it's just it's been something that it's ingrained in me, and I'm so glad that I learned it at age 10.
Right? Yes.
But I
How
love because
many?
you're rocking it because they look good on you. I can't
Thank
wear Prince
you.
dangling earrings, but those look awesome.
Why not?
As I'm drinking from my Prince little glass mug that my
I
friend got me.
love it. I love it. I'm
No.
gonna drink a little from my glass.
Well, I want to say thank you. Is there anything else that you want to promote or sponsor or give a shout out so we can,
Sure.
hook you up?
Yeah, well, so I would just say this. I decided that it was time to celebrate death. And it's
Mhm.
been an amazing year.
Right.
And, starting from a worksheet to
Hmm.
now
Yeah.
going to down the runway in Dubai. And so I've decided to create a VIP experience for some
Ooh,
locally previous clients and current and family and friends
mhm.
and my amazing models to just have a celebration. So we're going to do a little runway runway show and presentation, I'll say,
Nice.
in my atelier. And so
Okay.
it's going to be very intimate.
Nice.
Um, they're going to have opportunities, content corner, creation corner. They'll
Mm,
have opportunities to do selfies and also to have some professional photos taken from one of the a really great photographer,
nice.
and his name is Misri,
Oh,
Mizrey,
okay.
and so really wanting people to feel into
Hmm.
the clothes, to have the experience of trying them
Right.
on, so they can do their little model thing, and then also try them on and buy,
Hmm.
take them home with them. So this is and just doing some little eats and sips and all
Nice.
of that. So really excited about that. That's happening on the 27th. It is invite only,
Wait, is
but if
that
somebody
December?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
December.
All right.
Yeah, so it's
All
about
right.
2 weeks away, a little more than
Okay.
2 weeks
Right
away.
after Christmas. Very nice. Way to start off
Yeah,
the new
yeah.
year.
Yes, and it's kind of like almost energetically my
Hmm.
send off,
Nice. Yes.
getting that positive energy
Hmm.
to go on to the next step. And if there's anyone local that is really interested, they can DM me on my Instagram, which
Okay.
is D_A_A_A_A underscore F underscore 3000. So it's basically an underscore between each letter
Okay,
down.
nice. Nice. Well, definitely, and I'll put that in all the notes and everything. I want to say thank you so much for being a guest. I'm so appreciative. I'm so proud of you and this amazing clothing line. I think it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm not just saying that, I'm being legit. I will definitely rock a shirt, and especially if it's the colors of the Warriors, you know I'm rocking that every day. But
I see you. I see. Okay, yellow and blue. Actually, and you asked me about if I design. Um, Sometimes. Right now, I'm really establishing
yes,
my brand
yeah,
signature.
nice.
And there are certain situations where I
Mm,
may do some bespoke, meaning
yeah.
help people design something that they
No,
envision.
that's
But
cool. No, that's good. And I just think it's fantastic. Well, I want to say thank you so much.
thank you.
Incredible Cardum Sage, artist, fashion designer, intelligentsia, painter, poet, everything artist. She's amazing. She's from the Bay, so you know we got to represent there. So thank you so much. And until the next time, I'm your host, Michael. Who knows what we're gonna have? You know, I just keep it fluid because I'm goofy. All right, I love you all. Peace until the next episode.
Thank you,
Thank
Mike.
you.
This
All
was
right, bye
wonderful.
bye.
Bye bye.